You don't think about it, so you don't apply it. Naturally, humans are going to do that, right? If you want them to look at the right, then they will start on the left. You have to guide them to the right. Hey guys, this is Ejaz. I am a fashion and a wildlife photographer. Today I'm going to tell you something that you already know about composition, but once you start using it and thinking about it, your photography is going to turn around and become absolutely awesome. So, in part one, I spoke to you guys about how your face extends out this way in a photograph, and then your eye becomes one third because it's one third from your forehead, from your top of your head, and then your nose is another third, and your lip is another third. And if you take these lines, and the center of your eye is the column, right? So if you take these things and you extend out, that becomes your photograph. And if you're looking at the top one third, or the middle one third, and the bottom one third, that is what we normally do in day to day life. When you speak to people, we're looking into their eyes for the most part. And if not, then you're looking at the nose, and if not, you're looking at the lips. So it's something natural. And if we do something natural, we don't need to rely on tools, and we don't need to rely on different softwares and lines on your camera and so on and so forth. Once you start thinking about it in a natural and simple way, I think that's what you're going to do, and your photography is going to just be, your composition is going to be according to what you want. When we read English, you're normally reading from left. You start from the left and then you move on to the right, and then you go down the line, you go left, and then you go down the line. I mean, go read the whole thing, the line to the right. So it's left to right, left to right, left to right. Now, what happens if you take your image and you place something to the left and let it lead to the right and let it end over there? Naturally, humans are going to do that, right? They're going to go look at the left, and then slowly, as you are guiding them, they're going to look to the right. Now, it's of course your job to guide them. You ask someone to go somewhere, you have to tell them how to go there, right? It's the same thing with photography. If you want them to look at the right, then they will start on the left. You have to guide them to the right. And there are several ways to do that, and we can speak about that in the future, in the next videos actually. But for now, all I'm going to say to you, this is something that every English speaking person does. You start looking at something to the left, and then you end up on the right. Now, those are the two spots that you can really utilize to make your audience look at where you want them to look. So, if you place something to the left and that's it, and they're not moving to the right, then your photograph is not as interesting. You want them to find it, because human nature, I think, is such that if I find it, I have done something amazing, and if you lead me there, the credit I'm not going to give you, I'm going to give to myself. Like, oh, I look at those eyes, look at that nose, or look at the sunrise, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that our job as a photographer is to guide them and make them have that aha moment. And the way you do it is you place it in places that you place it in the areas which they are already used to doing all the time. We look from the left and we go to the right. So place your image anywhere on top, the top one third. And the other thing is, we don't start from the bottom, we start from the top. We start reading anything from the top and then we go to the bottom. I mean, you're not speaking about Japanese or Chinese or Indian or and so on. I'm speaking about English. We start from the top left, we go to the right, and that's how we go all the way down, left to right, left to right. So keep that principle in mind for composition. And the big question that you really must ask yourself is not how you can make this photograph beautiful, but ask yourself this question: how can you guide your audience in seeing where you want them to see? And then go place your subject right there. I mean, it could be a subject or it could be a part of the subject, right? It could be a sunset. So place it on the top right hand side so the eye will travel there, but make sure that there is some kind of a line or there's something leading on to the sunrise, the horizon for that matter, right? They'll start looking on the left and then they'll slowly move to the right. Or you keep it to the left, but then give them something else on the right hand side so they can flow, so the image flows. It's not static and it doesn't just stay there. Anyway, so this is something that we do as human beings, as English speaking human beings, I should say. And if we just as photographers take the responsibility and say to ourselves, people are going to look over there no matter what, whether I like it or not. People are just used to doing things and that's what they're going to do. So why don't I just make it easier for them? It's your responsibility to make it easy for your audience. If you make it difficult for your audience, it's not going to be a good photograph. One other thing I have to tell you: when it comes to composition, if you give it to them where they are not used to seeing, which also makes for an interesting photograph, but make sure that you have lines pointing towards that. Now, that is something that I don't think I should speak in this video. We can speak about that later. But for this one, I think I'm going to keep it very simple. Look at what people do and just focus on what makes them watch your image in an easier way. Don't make it difficult for them. So this is it for now, guys. I will speak to you guys about lighting, which we've got so many requests coming about lighting, and how to light and what to light and what to look for and so on. And the other one that we are being we've got so many messages for is they want to see how I retouch. Well, at times my retouching could take, I don't know, 7 days, 60, 70, 80 hours. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record when I am doing this. It's going to be a lengthy video. We're going to we're going to make it really, really fast. So I think maybe 16 times. So this way it doesn't go that long. But I will explain the process on what I do, how I think, why I think what I think for retouching, and we can take it from there. So for now, keep it simple. Know your left to your right. Place your subject there and you have it. I promise you, you have it. It's very simple. It may come across like, oh my God, he's not giving us anything. But trust me, left to right. That's it. That's your composition. Do that. Become a master of that, and then we can speak about something else, a little bit more complicated composition and such. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.